Hi and welcome to KeepShift. Today I'm quickly going to show you how to create a roster and how to use a Shift Hub or the mobile clock in, clock out functionality of KeepShift. So on the sidebar of your menu, go to roster and you'll see I already have some shifts in place, but I'm going to show you how quickly you can create a shift for someone. So let's look at Greg Mitchell here. All I do is press on the plus bar, add a shift. I create the shift 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And if I want to link it to a job, I can, and I create that shift. You'll see it's come up grey. Because I've linked it to a job, it's come up with the site address. Now, I can also just drag and drop shifts. I can add a split shift. So let me add another shift to here. So I am going to go from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., link it to a job, different job, and create that shift. Now you'll see there's two shifts, both comes up with different costs, and it's showing the address. As soon as I save it as a draft, means if I move off this page and come back onto it, I will still have that shift. As easy as that. As soon as I press publish, the shifts will go out to your employees via a notification and via an email. Now, if you use a similar roster on a week-to-week basis, you can easily just copy the week, move to the next week. I've already got something in there, so let me go this week and paste the shifts. You'll see they're all grey, which means they're not saved. I can then just save it as a draft, then I can move shifts around. I can edit a shift if necessary. Very easy to use. You can view shifts by a day. You can also view them by month. Very easy system to work with. Gives you a labour cost at a snapshot. All shifts in your roster do sync to a timesheet as well if you're using it that way, but very easy to use. So that's how you utilize the roster. So it takes away the manual process of manually managing it on Excel or something. It'll show you public holidays. It'll also come up with a red bar if someone's unavailable. So let me now show you how you would use the clock in, clock out functionality, and there's two ways to do it. If you have a mobile workforce, they will be able to clock in, clock out on their phone, just with the clock out functionality. So you'll see here I've already clocked in. I can also clock out. It geo maps it. It can be linked to a job. They can put any notes in there as well, and they clock out. Automatically syncs to the timesheet on their dashboard, which they then can save, and it will sync to your timesheet as the administrator to approve. So that's the mobile way of doing it. If you have a centralized workforce with a number of locations, you can use what we call Shift Hub, which is like your electronic Bundy clock. So based on locations, if you've set locations up in the system, you can have a number of different locations to operate. So let's choose branch office. Anyone associated with branch office will appear. So I'm going to choose, I'm Jack Jones in the system, so I choose Jack. All your employees will have to do is put in a PIN number, which they'll set up in the system, and you sign in. Okay, now this is their timesheet on the right and their clock in, clock out functionality. So I'm going to clock in. It'll ask you to take a snapshot to verify it's you, and it'll geo map it, and you can turn that functionality off as the administrator. So I clock in and it's done. All Jack does then, he signs out. Okay, and you can see it's gone blue around Jack, which means he has signed in for the day. If it was red around Jack, it means he's signed out for the day. Anyone else who hasn't got a bar around them means they haven't signed in at all. Very easy to use, just like a Bundy clock, but what it does, it stops any employee time theft. You've got a centralized place for clocking in, clocking out, and it auto syncs to their timesheet. Now, the only person that can log off this screen is the administrator. So if you've got a central tablet or a central computer that they're doing this on as they come into work. They can just, then the administrator or supervisor just clicks the top right, puts in their password, so you can't, from a security perspective, not everyone can log out of it, and I exit the timesheet hub. So very easy to use. Everything syncs to a timesheet, and you can view timesheets by rostered hours or by clock in, clock out functionality, and you can sync it to the right side, which is your master, which you can then approve. You can edit a timesheet. Timesheets can also be manually done in the system by your employees, but the administrator will always have to approve them. You can then export your timesheets as a CSV file to your payroll system. If you are working with Xero, we have an integration that auto syncs. So all you would do is you'd go to timesheets, you'd put in the location, export times of all are approved, start and end dates, and press the sync button. As easy as that to manage your staff in a very simple process. No need for the manual system that you may be using. It's an electronic system that's quick, it's easy, it'll save you hours, it'll stop any employee time theft if that's one of your worries. It's a very, very simple system to use that your employees will love.